Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, hold on. Wait. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. Is it too loud? Is it too soft? Okay, I'm afraid to talk. I don't want to blow people's eardrums out. Yes, it was a gift. It's a Blue Yeti. It's the best. Okay, oh my God. This is so amazing. April's a fool every day. Hello, everybody. Hey, yes, and the funniest thing, so last night when I got the mic, I thought I had to plug it in to charge it because it's an electronic. And you charge all electronics before you use them. Well, guess what? You don't with microphones. You just literally plug them in and the USB port does it. I could have plugged this in last night and used it. There's no batteries. It's just connected to the USB. This is amazing. I am not touching it. Oh my gosh. Hello, Auntie M. Hello, Nana Laura. Hello, Sir Philip. Oh my, can you just a moment? Oh, hello, Lisette Bennett. Hello, C-Rex. Hi, Thinna7. So good to have you. Hello, Rocky Lennon. Cece, it's great to see you. Hello, Colette McCoy. Eva, honey. Yes, we all know you're there. Every one of us. We see you. Can you just be patient, please? As Auntie M would say, put your patient pants on. Catherine Gaston, I love you. Ouch. Hey, stop this. You can come up and you can be up here on screen because that's kind of your thing. You belong there. But this bouncing up and down and scratching the heck out of my leg has got to stop. She's a little excited. Hello, CJ today. Hello, Shane. Hi, Kate. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. I know. It's kind of my fault. Your fault too, but my fault. All right, you ready for treats? Are you ready for your Blue Buffalo treats? Yeah, you know what time it is. She's so spoiled. Oh, you're drooling. Oh my gosh. Oh, now I really do have to change my shirt. She just had a big drool. They are that good, I guess. Oh, wow. Oh, it's all over my hand. Ava drool. Yay. Okay. That's why we keep the disinfectant wipes right next to us. That, and, you know, for when the cats have their wet food and they fling it all over my desk. Oh, I know. It's, you can tell she's wasting away to practically nothing. Okay, yes. You had your 3 biscuits. Yeah, it's love drool. All right. Are you ready? No, she's sniffing the bag. She's like, I'm ready for more. So we got a fun time planned tonight. Lots of really great fun cases. Yep. I kind of spent the entire day going through every arraignment docket that I had, and I found the first one's probably my favorite. Just, you got to see this. Hey, where was the audio? Did you guys hear that? Did that make sound? Hold on. This may be part of my having to learn thing, y'all. Let's see if I mute, will it do it? Oh, I don't hear it. Okay. I don't hear it at all. Hopefully I can hear the case.
Now calling case number 24T00244. This is Ypsilanti Township versus Michael Aaron Napierala. Can I have appearances for the record, please?
Assistant Public Defender Sonia Chenault on behalf of Mr. Napierala. Sir, please state your full name for the record.
Michael Aaron Napierala.
Thank you very much. So today is the date and time set for an arraignment in this matter. What I have is a misdemeanor complaint that charges that on or about July 19th of 2024 at Drive, you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Amalia Bradley, a person with whom you live, or I should say, with whom you reside or formerly resided, and a person with whom you have or had a dating relationship. This is otherwise known as domestic assault and battery. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail, a $500 fine with court costs, or both. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Did you have a chance to review an advice of rights form?
Yes.
Okay, that was very convincing. So you have the following basic rights. You have the right to remain silent because anything you say, whether out loud or in writing, can be used against you in court. You have the right to be presumed innocent beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to a trial by judge or by jury, and you have the right to be represented by an attorney during all stages of these court proceedings, that is before, during, and after trial.
Gotcha.
Okay. Do you have any questions about your rights?
No.
Okay, thank you. Attorney Chenault, do you wish to address the plea and the bond?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We stand muted to the charges. And regarding bond, I did have the opportunity to speak with my client regarding this matter. I explained the bond conditions and how not to have any contact with the alleged victim in this case. I do believe he will comply going forward with the bond conditions and appear for subsequent court hearings. Therefore, we are asking for a personal bond. Thank you.
So you live in Ohio?
Most of my life, but I've been here for,
Okay, so I have your current address is in Toledo, is that correct?
522
Okay, and do you also work in Ohio or do you work in
Yeah.
Michigan?
I'm going to be working in Ohio again.
Okay, so the court will set a pre-trial conference date of August 12th, 2024. That will be at 9 a.m. over Zoom before Judge Washington.
You said
And-
August 12th at 9 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay.
You should get paperwork on this as well.
Oh,
If
okay.
for some reason you don't, you can call the 14B District Court to get the information. You can also call the Washtenaw County Public Defender's Office.
Okay.
Okay. So, and the court's going to set bond with the following conditions. You are not to use or possess alcohol, marijuana, or illegal drugs.
Yep.
You are not to purchase or possess firearms, ammunition, or other dangerous weapons. Any that you already have in your possession must be surrendered. Ordinarily, I would be saying that you could not leave the state without permission. However, because you live and work in Ohio, you may leave the state of Michigan. You do have the court's permission for that. You are not to have contact with Amalia Bradley when the court says no contact. What the court
I'm
means.
cool. Trust me.
Stop. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're gonna let me finish though, or I will mute you. Thank you. What the court means when the court says no contact, no in-person contact, no contact through the mail, no contact over the phone, via phone calls, text messages, emails, social media, the internet, in any way, shape, or form, or through third parties. You are not to go to that drive address when the court says do not go. The court does not care if you are personally invited to return. You do not. You are not to engage in any sort of assaultive, threatening, harassing, terrorizing, molesting, or stalking behaviors towards Amalia Bradley or anyone else. You are not to engage in any sort of criminal activity whatsoever. And you are to appear for any and all dates set for you by the court. The next one in this matter being that August 12th court date over Zoom. These conditions will be entered into the Law Enforcement Information Network, so they will be readily accessible to any police officers you may come into contact with. And if they have probable cause to believe that you have violated one of these bond conditions, they can arrest you on the spot. And you'll be held for a bond violation hearing in front of a judge who may revoke your bond and set a new, more restrictive one.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of those bond conditions?
Oh, that was pretty clear.
Okay, thank you. So then at this time, the court is going to set a $20,000 personal recognizance bond. So you're not paying anything to get out, but if you fail to appear for your court date or if you violate any bond conditions, then your bond will start at $20,000.
Okay. Thank you, man.
Okay, thank you. Attorney Chenault, do you have anything else?
No, nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you. Then, sir, if you don't have any questions for the court at this time, you are free to go to the door and tell the jail that you are finished.
All right. Thank you, man.
Okay, thank you. Attorney Chenault, are you back?
Yes.
Have you had enough time to review the report?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Put you into a breakout room with your client for a minute, or shall we just get started?
We can get started because he was accurate during the interview.
Oh, okay. Yes, you already said. Okay. Okay. Now calling case number 24T00244. This is Ypsilanti Township versus Michael Aaron Napierala. Appearances for the record, please.
Assistant Public Defender Sonia Chenault on behalf of Mr. Napierala. Sir, state your full name for the record.
Michael Aaron Navarella.
Thank you.
Okay, so today is the date and time set for an arraignment in this matter on a conditional bond violation. You were in front of me on July 19th, which was last Friday.
Yes, ma'am. Can I speak for myself?
I would probably suggest that you not talk right now, because I will tell you that when I date the bond conditions, I go through a fairly comprehensive list when I say no contact, what exactly no contact means, and when I say don't go to a place, what not going to a place means. And generally speaking, I usually say at the end of it, and the court does not care if you are personally invited to return to that address, you do not go. Okay, so when I said that, I was not kidding. And from what I've got in this conditional bond violation report, you went to the address that you weren't supposed to go to and had contact with the person that you weren't supposed to have contact with. There is something in there about being invited over to help move, but as previously stated, the court doesn't care if they roll out a red carpet and said, you are hereby invited to come back right now. You don't do it. And you did. So. Okay. And my understanding too is that they picked you up on Wednesday, so it was less than a week.
You were being convicted.
No, okay, and I understand that there were extenuating circumstances. No. I don't.
Let her finish, sir.
I'm sorry.
There are, you know, certainly extenuating circumstances. However, in this case, the bond conditions are there for a couple of reasons. One is to make sure you show up for court dates. The other one is for protection of the public. And in this instance, obviously it's for the protection of the alleged victim in the matter, but also that obviously you did not do yourself any favors here. So when the court tells you not to do something, you don't do it, because then you end up here getting yelled at by me or somebody like me. Okay, so yeah, and if she called you to come over, then that's, you know, that it was on you to say, no, I can't do that. Okay, that is your responsibility. You are an adult and you know what your bond conditions are. So what I am going to do at this time, because I think probably you've got the idea now, we're going to keep the pretrial date of August 12th. I'm going to do one more PR.
Thank you.
However, I am adding a GPS tether with a hot zone.
What's that mean?
That means you're not actually here. Wait, you're not to go anywhere near her.
Okay.
Okay, so wherever she's currently residing, wherever she's currently working, you are not to go near her, and you will have a GPS tether that will go off when you are near her.
Okay.
Okay. So, and if none of this gets the point across, then the next, like, this is your last.
I get it.
Okay. So. And you'll need to get an updated address for her, since I'm assuming that that drive address is no longer accurate. You'll need to get an updated address.
That's the only one I know of, ma'am.
Okay. Attorney Chenault, that'll be however you figure that out. But otherwise, it's going to be home confinement in Ohio, I guess.
Okay.
What I am going to do prior to release to be fitted with GPS tether, with hot zone of alleged victim's address. If you can't find that out, are you employed at the moment, sir?
No, man.
Okay. Then if that address can't be verified, your home address is this drive address in Toledo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then if we can't get an address for her, for there to be a hot zone, then it's going to be a home confinement tether to your address in Toledo.
Okay.
So we're keeping that same pre-trial date, as I said, August 12th, 9 a.m. That's going to be a pre-trial and a bond violation hearing now. We're trying one more time with the PR.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, so you've got your next court date. At this point, you know that you're going to be fitted with the GPS tether prior to release. Attorney Chenault, you're going to look into seeing if you can verify an address for a hot zone. Otherwise, it's going to be home confinement in Toledo.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Any questions from anybody?
No, Your Honor, I'm all set.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then this hearing is concluded, and I believe so is our docket. Thank you.
Thank you.
He got lucky. Well, he did have to spend a couple days in jail. But, you know, he might have to end up staying in Ohio. So, yeah. I know. The jails are so full right now. They're trying the whole catch and release thing. I hate it too. But, you know, it's not the judges. It's the legislation. So that's what we've got to fight is the legislation. The judges are only following the little sheet that they have that tells them, you know, what they can assign for what. And a lot of them hate it. Forehead tattoos. You know, look at Dog the Bounty Hunter. He turned his life around. There is hope for some of them. Some. Very small some.
And we are ready on the Chavez Ochoa matter off of the 11 o'clock calendar, Your Honor.
Okay,
And that is cause number 4A0424286. This is on for arraignment. One allegation of driving while license revoked in the first degree from an alleged incident date of July 9. I would note he had previously submitted an application for court-appointed counsel and was approved. So we are not requesting a second appointment, obviously. And then we have gone over the rights at arraignment form, which we've uploaded into O-Court. I've gone over both the maximum as well as potential mandatory minimum penalties with him as well.
and Mr. Chavez Ochoa, good morning. Can you hear us all right? Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, yes, sorry. My phone was on mute.
Okay. And you heard what your attorney said and you agree with her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Well, you can waive arraignment, but you are charged with driving while license revoked in the first degree, alleged to have occurred in Bothell, July 9, 2024. Do you understand what the crime means, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, it looks like you really want to do some major jail time badly, because you have at least 2 prior convictions for this. So every conviction hereafter means you're getting at least 180 days in jail and up to 364, and another 1-year revocation of your license. You understand all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Not guilty plea will be entered. Let me be real clear on this, Mr. Chavez Ochoa, and we're being recorded today. If you decide I'm going to drive, you don't have a valid license and insurance in your pocket, and there's no way you're going to get a valid license and with your record, your release will be revoked. So the court is going to require, since you do it so frequently, allegedly, and you have a warrant out for your arrest out of the Marysville Municipal Court, so you're subject to arrest at any moment. You have to be here for all scheduled hearings, because if the court finds out that you decide to violate these conditions of release, you're going to be immediately taken into custody. Any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And it puts that bond that you posted at risk. So just being real clear about that. So if you want to take the chance, you go for it, okay? But you're not going to like the consequences. That's a guarantee. All right?
Okay.
Okay. Next hearing date will be when, Jackie? Please write this down and confirm when you've done this. You bet. I'm going to set August 22 at 2:30. That's a good date, right, Jackie?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, write down August 22 at 2:30. Tell me when you've done that.
What was that?
August 22 at 2:30.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I don't got a pen right now, but I'll write it as soon as I.
All right, well, I've told you when it is. If you decide not to show up, your bond is going to be forfeited, and it's going to be many thousands of dollars for you to get out the next time. Any questions about all that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you.
This is the most soft-spoken and yet terrifying judge. Oh, thank you so much, Finis 7. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Dang it! I went to hit the play button and I accidentally hit the right above it, the line. So at least I talk in between cases so I can get right back to the end there.
All right, stand by, everyone.
It's Mr. Khosrow Khosrowani, currently present on Zoom. Kat Ebert appearing for Mr. Khosrowani today.
Thanks, Miss Ebert. And can you hear me all right, Mr. Khosrowani?
Yes, Your Honor.
And can you hear your lawyer as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Are you Khosrowani?
Yes, sir.
January 30, 2003, your birthday?
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Khosrowani. City want to be heard. There's two causes before the court. 4A 599578, which is a criminal prosecution, and then a related notice of infraction, 4A 599579. The court has reviewed the probable cause submission in the cause ending 578 and would find probable cause for the complaint is charged. Do you want to be heard further on this, Ms. Tadavosian, before we go to arraignment?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Khosrowani, you have the constitutional right to an attorney. Ms. Ebert's helping you out. Are you retained, Ms. Ebert?
No, Your Honor, and I believe this is an infraction disposition.
Well, I haven't heard any amendments.
Madam Prosecutor, is this an amendment?
578, do you want to do something else, Ms. Tadavosian?
Oh, yes, for 578, the city is going to amend to no valid registration in vehicle under RCW 4616A180 for $200.
And you've explained all this to him, Ms. Ebert?
Yes, Your Honor.
You agree, Mr. Khosrowani?
Yes, Your Honor.
You agree that that infraction occurred in Bothell on July 13th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because the response is committed then, the finding will be committed and the motion to amend is granted. What about the no insurance ticket, Mr. Khosrowani? What do you want to tell me about that?
I would like to be heard on mitigation if I could, Your Honor.
You bet, Ms. Ebert, not a problem. I didn't know,
Mr.
you're a public defense attorney, right?
That is correct, but I would
But
like
it's
to
nice
argue
of,
it,
I
so.
just want you to know, it's nice of you to handle them on a civil matter, which you have no obligation to do. Go ahead.
Thank you. I enjoy it. Mr. Casarani is currently not working. He has been unemployed for approximately 2 months. He had to leave school due to expenses. He has been extensively looking for work. I believe it has been difficult for him. He tells me he's applied for 50 or 60 jobs in that time. Additionally, he's helping his grandparents out for minimal, like basically no money. So I'm hoping that we can mitigate the fine if possible today. He does have a good job prospect with Costco. They should be getting back to him in 2 days.
Oh, that'd be great. But Mr. Casarani, don't get too picky. You need a job, right?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
correct, Your Honor.
Okay, he's got no priors, so what's the city recommend as a penalty?
Your Honor, the city is recommending a penalty of $100.
No, that's what I give for people who come in with proof of insurance. It'll be I will reduce it, Ms. Ebert, to $200. So it was $400, Mr. Casarani, which needs to be paid in full within 30 days, or as you promised the court in writing. Any questions about all that, sir?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor. I
All
really
right,
appreciate it.
good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Hope you have a good day.
You too.
And I'm finally ready on the matter of Mr. Sean Glenn off the 11 o'clock calendar. This will also be a standard arraignment, Your Honor, with an indigencies form as well.
Mr. Glenn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is 4A548044. Are you Sean Michael Glenn?
Yes,
August 13, 68, your birthday?
yes.
Thanks, Mr. Glenn. Have you received a copy of the complaint in this case?
A ticket?
No, it would be a document that says complaint in the caption and charges you with driving under the influence.
Yeah, I think I have, yeah.
You want one sent to you or not?
Sure, yes, yes, I would.
All right. Please send a copy to Mr. Glenn. You're charged with driving under the influence alleged to have occurred in Bothell, July 6, 2024. You understand what the crime means?
Yes,
And this is a gross misdemeanor punishable by up to 364 days in jail, $5,000 fine, plus costs and assessments. Do you understand that?
yes,
And it's one of those offenses where if you're convicted, there's mandatory jail and or electronic home monitoring, mandatory fines plus costs and assessments, license suspension or revocation of at least 90 days, ignition interlock requirement for at least 1 year. You understand all these things?
why would I need an ignition interlock?
That's if you're convicted, Mr. Glenn. It's in the statute. I'm going to ask you not to discuss any of the facts of the case, please.
Yeah, wait till you get a lawyer. Okay?
Okay,
All right. Guilty plea will be entered. Probable cause was found July 8th. Court notes he has a pending DUI in South District Court. City's position?
Your Honor, at this time, the city is not requesting bail. The city is requesting standard DUI conditions plus a scram device.
Your
All
Honor,
right. Ms. Ebert, what do you say? Go ahead.
I have no objection to standard conditions. I would request no scram device. I don't believe the allegation is of alcohol here, so I don't think a scram device would do what the city is looking for. Additionally, he's very, very low income. His only income is from SSDI and ABD. His housing is through the state. I think a scram device would put him further in a hole, Your Honor.
Response, Ms. Tedevosian?
Your Honor, while this is not a alcohol-related DUI, the scram device, the city is requesting a scram device because of the previous DUI, and there's also another DUI pending.
But you concede that this was an intoxicant other than alcohol, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, I am not going to require a scram device. The South District Court can do that if that's alcohol related. And counsel, Mr. Glenn has got to consider if he has the disposable income for intoxicants and he gets caught, he may be required to, as part of a court order, be screened to make sure he's not using intoxicants, especially with his record.
I completely understand, Your Honor.
So,
If I may turn to bail.
no, I'm not going to require bail. I'm just going to impose conditions of release, and he's got to have an ignition interlock. So I'm going to make sure that if he drives a motor vehicle, it's not with any alcohol in his system. But if it
That's
comes to the
perfect.
court's attention that there's any other intoxicant in his system while he's under the jurisdiction of the court, his release is going to be revoked. He puts his bond at risk, and that's $10,000. So I hope he doesn't want to do that, but that's his call. That's his call. So
Yes, Your Honor. I was wondering if we could exonerate that, given the city is agreeing to personal recognizance today.
nope, holding on to it. He's got to have some skin in this game, counsel, with his record.
Yes, Your Honor. It is a very long record. I just want to note, because I thought it was very cool, he hasn't had a conviction since 2003. He does have a pending DUI, but that's the only other open case.
Counsel, his driving under the influence of any intoxicant is over from this court's perspective. And if he wishes to test that, that's fine. He's not going to like the consequences, and it's time for him to figure that one out. I'm maintaining the bond. He's going to have some skin in this game, as I indicated. All right, next hearing date is, looks like August 29 at 2:30. Please write that down, Mr. Glenn, and tell me when you have.
Zoom?
Thank you. Keep that note safe. That's your note.
Hold on a second, hold on. Is it a Zoom meeting?
August 29 at 2:30.
Is it Zoom?
No, that's in person, Mr. Glenn.
I have surgery August 8th. I'm gonna be 2 weeks, 2 months completely with non-weight bearing on my left broken foot.
Yeah, well, you have an attorney. Make sure you get a doctor's note indicating your unavailability, and the court will consider that.
Okay, Your Honor.
Would it be possible for us to set him to a Zoom calendar on a Monday instead, Your Honor?
No, he needs to come in unless he's medically unavailable, and that has to be proved in writing.
Okay.
That'll be proven.
Mr. Glenn, you'll get our contact information on your forms. Please reach out to us ASAP with a doctor's note stating that load-bearing restriction, okay?
Okay, thank you. Is that it?
Thank you.
Well, it can't be a load-bearing restriction, counsel. It's got to be, I can't be at court restriction. Okay?
Oh, okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah. We're not going to make him lift anything when he's here, except possibly a pen.
I won't be able to walk.
Perhaps a doctor's note stating that something around.
Talk to your lawyer. She's very good. She'll figure it out.
Okay. Is that it, Your Honor?
Nope.
Okay.
But thanks for asking. So don't drive unless you have valid license and insurance or without an ignition interlock system in use in your motor vehicle. You're to abstain from the use and possession of intoxicants of any kind and in any amount. You're not to refuse a police requested breath or blood test, even when told you have the right to refuse. Commit no criminal acts. Make sure we know where you live. Be here on time for all scheduled hearings.
I'm sorry,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
good luck, Mr. Glenn.
May I be heard on one more matter, please, Your Honor?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm noticing on this pretrial form, we've got the, I'm still trying to understand these forms. I'm seeing the check marks for the ignition interlock device. That I fully understand. I'm also seeing a check mark for installing an alcohol monitoring device. Was that intended by the court?
Maybe not. And welcome to the club, Miss Ebert, trying to understand this.
My assumption would be that that's for Scram, but I couldn't be sure about that.
No, I just checked the box for ignition interlock.
Oh,
And you must submit to testing for your compliance with this condition. Well, that just means if the court wants him to, if he comes in and someone smells alcohol on him, he's got to submit to testing.
okay. The box I'm looking at.
I'm not requiring Scram. I'm just ignition interlock when he drives. That's all.
Okay, that's what I understood as
So
well.
make a note of that so that you can, yes, Jackie's got a quizzical look on her face. Talk to me, Jackie. Well, if he's going to drive, he has to have an ignition interlock. If he's deciding not to drive, I don't require him to have an ignition interlock.
Absolutely. But
if he decides, I got to run to the 7-Eleven down at the corner, and instead of running, I'm going to drive down there, and he gets pulled over because he, for whatever reason, light out, whatever. There's no ignition interlock. I hope he enjoys that trip because his bond is subject to forfeiture And he's gonna be in a jail cell, which makes it real tough for you to prepare his case.
How much is that, Your Honor?
Much as what?
The ignition interlock.
We don't get involved with that. You're gonna have to find out for yourself. You have a fantastic lawyer and that person can help you with that.
I can't afford it.
Life in its fullness, Mr. Glenn. All right, anything else, Miss Ebert?
You're not stepping in for Miss Ewer. Unfortunately, her computer just died. No.
Oh, and I don't think I looked at the indigency. Looks like you swear or affirm you're on public assistance, Mr. Glenn?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna appoint counsel then. Sorry, I forgot about that, Miss Ebert. Okay, you're excused, Mr. Glenn. Good luck, sir.
All right,
Next case.
Yeah, that judge is now one of my favorites. I absolutely love him.
Are you Mr.
Brody Hood?
Brody Hood Jr.?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. This is cause number CV 24-46879-1, State of Texas versus Brody Hood Jr. And I believe this is your writ of habeas corpus, Ms. Hunt. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your name is Brody Keith Hood Jr., is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like him sworn, Ms. Hunt?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hood, would you raise your right hand and take the oath? You swear
Yes.
or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. You were arrested back in June, exactly on June 25th of 2024 for the offenses of manufacturing and delivering of a controlled substance, 4 to 200 grams of penalty group 1, and then on 2 misdemeanor possession of controlled substance charges. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And to your knowledge, none of those cases have been indicted or presented by information.
No, ma'am.
Now, have you been in jail continuously since the time of your arrest?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that the aggregate bond for those 3 charges is $60,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been able to contact a bonding company in order to make arrangements for payment of that bond so you could be released?
No, ma'am.
Why is that?
I have no money, to bond out.
Do you have any type of savings at all?
No, ma'am.
Where are you from, Fannin County?
No, ma'am. I live in Greenville, Texas.
And how long have you been in Greenville, Texas?
5 years, probably, maybe longer.
And and do you live with anybody?
My mother and stepfather.
And have they lived there for the same length of time or longer?
They lived there for 15 to 20 years.
And while you were there, before your incarceration, were you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
And where were you employed?
With J&L Tree Service, and I worked with my stepdad's horse shooting.
And so you had 2 jobs, is that right?
Yes.
And from those 2 jobs, you're telling the court you don't have any type of savings at all?
No, I just spend my money as I go, Get paid cash.
Do you have any kind of personal property that you could use to either use as collateral for a loan or to pawn or sell for money?
No, ma'am, I sure don't.
So are you today asking the judge for a PR bond so that you can be released from jail pending trial?
If it's possible where I could work and get some, because I know I have to do some time on this charge. I don't want to have to depend on my parents, my mom and stepdad, to have my back, when I do have to get locked up on this and go have to do time.
What is your plan as far as if you're released from jail? Where do you plan to live?
My mother's house in Greenville, Texas.
And you said you had a job before you were arrested. Will you still have that job available when you are?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you know that?
It's a friend of mine, and I know for sure it's there.
Okay, when you say it's a friend of yours, are you meaning that
Like I've known him a long time, and worked with him a long time.
Okay, let me ask the question. Okay. Are you meaning that the friend of yours that you're referring to, is that the person that owns the business that you work for?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And once again, what was that business?
J&L Tree Service.
Will you be able to continue?
Huh?
Will you be able to continue working for your stepdad as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've already talked with your stepdad and your mother about the living situation?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if you were to be released, that this county requires you to do certain things such as report and possibly do other conditions as a part of the bond conditions. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you telling this court that you would be able to do those conditions and that you would abide by those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
And when we're talking about reporting, we're talking about reporting in person. Are you going to be able to report? You said you lived in Greenville. Will you be able to report as required to Fannin County?
Yes, ma'am. This is where I'll be working at mostly in Fannin County. That's where the business is.
Pass the witness.
Mr. Hazelton.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hood, you mentioned you had 2 jobs. How much were you earning weekly?
It varied. Most of the time, 350 to 400 to 500. It's different. It's tree service, so it's you know what I mean. I can't just say 1 week it'd be this, and the next week it'd be something different.
Okay, so rough on average, how much are you taking home each month?
If I was to save it, probably 2,500.
Okay. What kind of monthly expenses did you have?
Nothing really, just blowing my money. That's what's stupid in me, you know what I mean?
Okay. Were you living with your parents prior to being arrested?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did your parents have any kind of criminal history?
No, sir.
All right. You have any substance abuse issues?
I do drugs. Yes, sir. I'm here for drugs.
What's your drug of choice?
Methamphetamines.
How long you been using methamphetamine?
Since I was 14.
How old are you today?
47.
Okay, so 33 years worth of use?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you own a vehicle?
Well, I have a vehicle, but it's not in my name. It's in my mother's name.
Okay. Is she going to allow you to use that to get
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to talk to you about your criminal history. How many times have you been arrested?
5 or 6 times, probably.
Okay. Does 15 sound accurate?
Huh?
Does 15 arrests sound accurate?
Maybe quite a few.
Okay. Let's do this. How many times have you been to prison?
5 times.
Okay. So 5 different separate trips to prison?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What were those offenses?
Well, state jail is the same thing, right? Y'all consider state jail the same thing, right?
Okay. How many times have you been to state jail?
2 or 3 times, I think.
Okay.
And 3 times.
How
And I've
many
been to TDC twice.
Okay. Were those 2 separate trips you did?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what were those offenses you went to TDC for?
Drugs. And theft.
Would that have been in like 2016 and 2010?
2010, yes.
Okay, looks like they're manufacturing deliveries.
Yes, sir.
You also have, looks like 3 state jails for prohibited substances, prohibited substances possession.
Yes, sir.
And it looks like you have a prohibited substance in a correctional facility.
What now?
Prohibited substance in a correctional facility. Looks like you got arrested in 2008 for.
No, not to my knowledge.
All right, looks like you got a couple state jail thefts as well.
Yes, sir.
All right. Looks like in 2004 you had an evading arrest or detention on foot.
Yeah, probably.
2010, it looks like you had evading arrest, the detention with the motor vehicle.
Yes, sir.
2004, we have burglary of a building and two burglaries of a building in 2018.
Yes, sir.
And it looks like in 2011, you had 3 bail jumpings and failures to appear on felonies.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If the court was to lower the bonds or release you on a P-bar bond, you know, one of the conditions is you're not going to be able to use methamphetamine. You're going to be able to comply with that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm 47 years old and I'm done with that shit. I promise you.
Okay, but you've been.
If I have to come up here and give a urine test every day, I'll do that.
Stay with past witness.
Ms. Hunt?
If the court requires that you get a drug evaluation and do treatment as part of your bond conditions, would you be willing to do that?
Yes, ma'am. As long as it works, you know, I can work around it, you know, to work.
No further questions.
Mr. Hazelton, do you expect that an indictment will be presented in the near future?
Your Honor, I was looking at the history. The state has received these cases from law enforcement. I would believe that all 3 cases could be presented to grand jury next month. It looks like they was initially arrested for Class A misdemeanors, but they were filed with us in a state jail. So I would anticipate all 3 being able to be presented next month.
All right. What is the value of your motor vehicle, Mr. Hood?
Probably $5,000.
So you could sell it and post a $5,000 bond?
No, sir. If I had $5,000, I'd probably done been out of here.
I'm saying you can sell your vehicle and generate $5,000?
No, I can't. It's not my vehicle. It belongs to my mother. She just lets me drive it.
I thought you said it was yours, but it was in your mother's name.
Well, it's in my mother's name, but I can't just sell it, you know, because the title's in her name.
Okay. Well, your mother could sell it though, right?
If she would, you know, I mean, I don't know. That's up to her.
Okay.
It belongs to her, you know. She just lets me drive it.
I'm going to reduce the bonds on the 2 misdemeanors to $5,000 each. I'm going to maintain the $40,000 bond on the felony. So the total bond now will be $50,000. And I'm assuming, Mr. Hazelton, once indicted, you're ready to proceed to trial pretty quickly?
Yes, Your Honor. I see no reason the state can't be ready early.
All right. Very well. The bonds are now set at $40,000 on the felony, $5,000 each on the 2 misdemeanors. That will conclude the hearing.
And Your Honor, may I be excused?
You may. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hazelton and Mr. Hood.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
He started when he was 14 years old. If there had been some intervention at that time, he may have had a chance to turn his life around. I think think that it's a very unfortunate situation. I hope he's serious about his getting sober now at 47. The odds are really against him.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Hood, I'm going to go ahead and set some conditions just in case you bond out.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, thank you, sir.
You're excused.
All right.
All right, this is cause number CR 22-28378, State versus John David Sanford. What say the state?
State's ready, Your Honor.
And the defendant?
We're ready, Judge.
Very well. And this is a motion to reduce bond, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. And you may proceed.
All right, Judge. I would call my client. Well, he's not there. I'm going to call Mr. Sanford.
Jail, could we have Mr. Sanford, please? They may be on the way to get him.
All right.
Thank you.
Are you John David Sanford?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Would you like your client sworn, Mr. Brannon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanford, if you'll raise your right hand and take the oath. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. I would call Mr. Sanford.
All right.
Mr. Sanford, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And can you just state your full name for the record?
John David Sanford.
Okay. And how old are you, sir?
I am, 55.
Okay. And prior to your incarceration, where did you live at?
In Denison, Texas.
Okay. And prior to your
Oh, yeah,
incarceration,
I'm sorry. Prior to the incarceration, I lived over here in a town called Bailey.
okay. And where do you live at normally?
I was living in Bailey, Texas, Bodart, 222 Bodart.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a landlord.
Okay.
You're a what, sir?
A landlord?
Landlord, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
No, not so much anymore.
Okay. And what is your monthly take home?
Now it's about 1,700, 1,600.
Okay. And that's what you make to take home and keep to yourself?
No, I still got mortgage payments. I pay out of that. I pay insurance, taxes. I pay electric, water, and food.
Okay. All right. So it's significantly less than the 1,700.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Do you have any large sums of money saved up or anything like that?
No.
Yeah. Do you have a fast way to liquidate any of your property or vehicles or anything like that?
I've had foreclosures on me that's happened. I mean, all kinds of, so, no.
Okay. And how are you fixed on transportation? How do you get around?
I've got, my vehicle that I had is gone now, and then I've got transportation. I mean, I have another vehicle that I can use.
Okay. And so if you were given if you received bond conditions and you were told to show up and do things, you'd be able to get around.
Yes.
Okay. If you were given conditions to attend classes and things like that, you would be able to do that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in this case, you are charged with a motion to adjudicate probation. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And today you're asking the court to set you a bond amount, or to set you a bond, ideally a PR bond, but if not, a bond amount that you could reasonably achieve, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And just for reference, if the court were to set it for an amount, what would be an amount that you could afford on a bond?
$500. I mean, I don't know how that works, but I could afford that.
Okay. And how long have you been incarcerated?
I came in for a weekend, Memorial weekend, and I've served been since then. It's been about 2.5 months, I think, or 3 months. On the 16th, they filed paperwork on me in May.
Okay.
So,
okay. And so, at this point, that's what we're asking for. And do you have any friends or family members that could lend you money or property to get out?
That's what yes. The answer is yes.
Is that where the 500 would come from?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and I haven't, yes.
Okay. All right. Past witness, Judge.
Riley.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Sanford, so but if you were released, are you saying that you would be living in Denison?
Yes.
What address in Denison? Okay, and who all lives there?
It's one of my cousins. Or I can go to living in Denton at the other address. It's in Crum, Texas. And y'all have that address on file.
Okay, when you say one of your cousins, does that mean that your cousin lives there?
Yes.
Okay, what's your cousin's name?
Raymond Sanford.
Okay, and who all lives with Raymond?
Nobody. It's just him. And he's disabled.
And does he have any criminal history?
I don't know. If he does, it's old.
Okay. And then the address in Denton, whose house is that?
It's one of my brothers. Which one? Y'all have it on file. I'm not sure which one. And that's where I was staying for a long while before.
What's that address?
I think I honestly don't know. I have it back at my cell. I didn't get my paperwork. They wouldn't let me bring my paperwork.
Okay, you say it's in, did you say Crum, Texas?
Yes, sir. It's Crum.
And who all lives in that home?
It's my brother. He's retired from the Army.
What's his name?
Kenneth Mitchell.
Kenneth Mitchell?
Yes. And he's got a good record. He ain't got no troubles or problems.
Okay, who all lives with him?
Nobody. It's just him.
Do you have any dependents?
No. I mean, they're grown. My children are grown. One's a doctor, and the other one is incarcerated at the moment.
Okay.
And he's in Colorado. My son is a doctor. He's in Boulder, Colorado.
You said your landlord, are these properties that you own?
Yes, but I've lost so many because I got put in here.
Okay, so how many properties do you own currently?
Now, I really don't know because I've been incarcerated. I have to get with my other attorney, Bob Minshew, out of Sherman, Texas.
Okay, how many would you estimate?
4.
Okay, and how much are those 4 properties?
But they're not all paid off. They're not all paid off. I still owe money, the mortgage payments and interest.
So estimate of how much equity you have in those properties.
Couple $100,000 maybe. I had a tree fall in one of them, so that
Understood.
came in here, so that brought the value down on that, so that may be less.
Okay, you said something like you don't have a lot of money saved up. Do you have any money saved?
I have none. Now, I do, since I've been in here, I'm hoping that I've had people, renters put in money on my property, but if I haven't, it's because they've been feuding on the outside. And that's another reason I wanted to get, 'cause I gotta file evictions on 2 different renters. That's, anyway, it's a long story, but
Okay, and then you mentioned you have access to another vehicle. What vehicle do you have access to?
it's a 2004 Chevy Silverado with I've got the heads pulled off of it right now. I was rebuilding the motor, but it's gonna take me, I've got I had all the stuff to rebuild the motor.
So do you own that vehicle?
Yes, I own it outright, but I've got to rebuild the motor. The one I had before, I've lost it because of me being in here.
Okay, so currently it doesn't run?
No.
And so
Go ahead.
how would you get to and from court?
My brother. I could buy his vehicle or I can he'll bring me either way.
You say you're a landlord. How many hours per week do you have to work toward that?
It varies. I mean, you have water leaks, you got roof leaks, it's hard sporadic. It's never a constant number.
Okay, so what's a range? Like what's the minimum amount of hours that you've been working maximum?
30 hours a week, maybe. It's not full time 40 hours. I mean, but there's times that I may work 80 hours a week. Not 80, but
I'll pass witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Brannon,
I have no further questions, Judge, and I have no further witnesses or evidence.
all
State
right,
does have one witness, Your Honor.
all right, you may call him.
State calls Chase Bowen.
Would you raise your right hand, please, and take the oath? You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
You may proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Bowen, are you the probation officer supervising Mr. Sanford?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell the court just briefly how he's performed on probation and what things he's been lacking at probation?
Mr. Sanford's been on probation since October 22. He's had his ongoing issues as far as completing any of his classes, and that's kind of why we're here. He had multiple status hearings to try to get that corrected. He has continued to fill out of or be discharged out of the BIP program. He did report on probation as directed. He was lacking on some payments, usually saying, something about his properties, why he couldn't stay up current. Overall, he didn't work any community service, but he was drug-free and he did report each month.
Okay. And as far as him not completing classes or BIP, is that something where he's given reasons why he hasn't been able to, or just a refusal to do it?
Yes. Usually it was some excuse after another. Either the BIP program was not being fair to him, so they would kick him out of his classes, or he said something about lack of payment, so they were going to kick him out, which I have confirmed with the BIP program. That was not what happened. He had multiple chances. He was discharged before. She allowed him to get back into the program, and he was discharged again for the same thing, lack of attendance. Even when he was in attendance, just not a whole lot of, what word am I looking for? just didn't engage in the sessions.
Kind of sucks when, the different departments talk to each other and you can't BS them.
Okay. Do you have any concerns as far as him being out on bond, or any recommendations to the court as far as bond conditions?
I mean, I don't have any general concerns as far as I do think he would report. I suggested that he do a cognitive track of ISF as far as the motion, but on bond, I mean, I would say immediate back into the BIP program, which is going to be difficult at this time since he's been discharged twice. He may have to find another program. I would say more reporting, maybe weekly reporting.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Brannon?
No questions, Judge.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Briley?
No, Your Honor.
Any rebuttal, Mr. Brannon?
No rebuttal, Judge. We rest.
All right. Mr. Briley, you rest?
Rest, yes.
All right. If you are released on a bond, Mr. Hood, or Mr. Sanford, I'm sorry, what do you plan to do?
Take care of my properties and take care of my renters to get this, and then get on this. Now, I didn't get to elaborate on the BIP program thing at all. I did try, and I emailed several times to the BIP program.
Mr. Sanford, we're not here to adjudicate anything today, sir. This is purely for the bond motion.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, the answer to your question, Judge, is I plan on seeking out a different thing on that. That's what you asked me what I was going to do when I plan to get out, and that's what I plan to do, is to get on and find a different BIP program, get this thing taken care of, get it behind me so I can get out of this and not ever have to come back.
Well, I took a quick look at the pending motion to adjudicate. Apparently you have not paid some of your obligations. Is that correct?
I'm gonna pay that. I'm gonna get the money paid off.
Your Honor, at this point, whatever's on the motion, that I just remind the court, we're just here for a bond motion today.
Well, let me just say, if he's not going to be compliant with existing obligations, how can I have any confidence in any bond conditions that I might impose being complied with?
I understand, Judge, and I understand the judge can take that, the court can take that in consideration. It's just I would just make the argument that we're since we haven't officially had a setting for the motion itself. I don't think it'd be appropriate for my client to answer any questions concerning any of the allegations on the motion currently.
I don't disagree with you about that. All right. Do you have an opinion, Mr. Briley, what an appropriate bond might be?
Your Honor, I would defer to the court as far as an amount. I would just ask that weekly reporting be a condition of his bond.
I'm going to set a bond in the amount of $10,000 and require weekly reporting as a condition of bond. And that will conclude this hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, guys, it is 12:16 my time, so it's a little late, but we are going to take a quick break because we have to go check out who won the caption contest. So give me 1 second while I get this pulled up. I need some cool music. All right. Field trip. You got that right. Come on, computer. You can do it. All right. So, this is the picture. So we've got 3 on Supper Cat, 3, I think that's supposed to be Super Cat. 3 for Earl leads Sunrise Yoga Group before the PAWFURM starts the new day. Aww. Colette McCoy, that's so cute. That is Billy, but that is very cute. Maybe Earl is the lead. Earl's leading it and Billy's following. 2 for YMCA for Shauna. 2 for the new centerfold for Boy Cat magazine. All the queens and mollies will be so turned on. 3 for Maybe I'm a Skunk. 4 for Working on My Summer Body. Oh, it's already summer. 2 for Work is Rough. 4 for Help I've Fallen and I Can't Get Up. 2 for Strike a Pose, the belly. 2 for Why Hello There, Gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it looks like it's a tie. Joey Bag of Donuts and Salty Buddha. You guys, I need your addresses, nightshiftwithapril@gmail.com. You both win. And on Monday, I will be putting up a new photo. Congratulations, Salty Buddha and Joey Bag of Donuts.
Judge, may I be excused?
You may do. Have you an order in the file, Mr. Brennan?
I'm not sure if there's an order in the file or not, Judge. If there's not, I can send one over. I can either email one to Brandy or e-file one.
Why don't you email it to Brandy, and if you can do that pretty quickly, I'll sign it this afternoon.
All right, give me 5 minutes, Judge, and you'll have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. You're excused.
Good afternoon. Are you Mr. King?
I am.
Good afternoon. So, Mr. King, we're on the record in case numbers 24-1364 ST and 24-2050 ST. You're appearing for bench warrant arraignments in each of those cases, as well as arraignment in the underlying complaint in case number 24-2050 ST. You're appearing with Ms. Mistley, the defense attorney available through the Indigent Defense Council, here to assist you. And Ms. Mistley, did you have opportunity to review the allegations on the bench warrants in each of these cases, as well as in the underlying complaint in 2050?
I did. And starting with 24-2050 ST, Mr. King never received notification of the arraignments there. I'm looking at both the ticket as well as the action in court, which shows an address in Grand Haven, Michigan. Mr. King tells me he has never resided in Grand Haven. He has no idea what that address is. And there are a multitude of other errors on the ticket itself, including stating that he had no valid license out of Arizona. But we'll leave that to the other part of this, and he'll be entering in the underlying case there a plea of not guilty, and he is requesting counsel. He adamantly disputes the underlying charge. So he did not appear because he never received notice.
Okay, let's move on.
Real quick, you guys, this case, when I was editing it, the video and audio were out of sync and it was causing me a lot of troubles when I was trying to edit it. So at some point, the video and audio may separate and not match up, and there was nothing that I could do to fix it. Hopefully, it didn't delete parts that it shouldn't have. So hopefully we got the whole case because it is quite interesting.
To the other file?
Yes, please.
Okay, so with regard to that failure to appear, he has indicated to me that the Parkdale address is in fact correct. However, he lost his housing in Manistee. He was living in his car. His car then broke down. So then he's been couch surfing while still trying to maintain some degree of employment at, I'm sorry, sir, did you say that bootleggers?
Bootleggers and Dillingers, that's correct.
Okay. So he just flatly said to me, I did learn of that arraignment, or pardon me, that pre-trial, but he was so caught up with trying to figure out where to lay his head at night. Once his car broke down, he just forgot, just simply forgot.
Well, you do have an attorney in that case, Mr. Kane, who's been assigned to your case since May. Did you stay in contact with Mr. Kane? Mr. Kane?
Did you just ask me if I've been in contact with myself?
No,
with Kane.
No.
Your attorney.
I'm sorry, I did not hear you. I haven't been able to, as my phone is actually as well turned off, just because I'm not able to afford a lot of things out of my life right now, and I don't have a device to make calls right now at this time. I'm sure I could have figured out a way. I'm not trying to sound elusive. Like I said, I've just been going through a lot, and I'm just trying to manage everything, and I purely just forgot about these cases. I'm not one to normally dip out or not follow instructions. I take this very seriously. It just kind of lost my attention in the moment, and I'm deeply sorry about that.
Okay. Well, even in that case, the report indicated that you had an Arizona license, that you spend 6 months in Arizona and 6 months in Michigan.
I'll go back and forth. I don't know that it's even 6 month to 6 month, but I do go and return. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so I'm certain that the address was not just taken out of the Grand Haven address, was given by you to the police officer. I'm certain that he didn't just come upon that address, or it was on your Michigan driver's record. Have you been stopped in Michigan before?
I have. I've always had an Arizona driver's license, and the only the only address I've ever given out besides the address that's on my driver's license is the Parkdale address in Manistee. That was the one I actually gave you guys last time we had done this. Beyond that, I don't know of the Grand Haven address. I don't know how it came about.
Have you ever lived there? I thought you told me you'd never lived in Grand Haven.
No, I have not.
And I don't, that shows a Grand Haven address. It has a Michigan driver's license number that he has never had.
Yes, ma'am.
And it has.
Oh, but Miss Mistley?
Yes.
There is a Michigan driver's record.
Okay, but it also shows.
And it does say there's an original out-of-state license. So it appears as though he's had some speeding tickets in Gaylord, Manistee, and Traverse City. State does assign a number because it indicated that his license in Arizona might have been no longer valid.
Well, I don't know, and that's why we're requesting an attorney in that case, because he tells me when he was told that by his father when this ticket arrived, apparently sometime, completely valid license there. There's other information on this ticket that's incorrect, such as showing his weight is 5'9". He tells me he's 6'2". It shows his weight is 210. He weighs 260. You know, so I don't know what's going on, but that's why he needs assistance with that file.
All of that same information is on the 1364.
All I have is the action in court when the bench warrant was issued.
Okay.
And I don't know if perhaps there's been confusion with some records getting mixed up, because when he was arrested last night, he said 8 police officers showed up at his home insisting they believed that he was Joe King, who I believe we dealt with a couple days ago.
I have no doubt.
It did cut out. The judge is saying that she has no doubt there's more to the story. Unfortunately, it seems like the video file got corrupt. I don't know
You
if
have an email address?
I do,
What is that?
at iCloud.com,
At the Parkdale address, are you renting?
but I am no longer living there. I'm currently homeless, couch surfing, living out of my vehicle if it was running.
Are you employed?
Part-time, yes.
Where?
Bootleggers and Dillingers as a bouncer.
What's your average take-home pay?
$90 a day cash per day.
Do you receive any other source of income or assistance?
No,
You said you own a vehicle. What's the estimated value of the vehicle?
$2,000, $3,000.
And do you have any money in a checking account or savings account? Any cash
No.
on hand or any digital currency?
No.
We will indicate that Mr. King is currently representing you in the other case, the pretrial conference, that you failed to appear for. As well as so we'll get that rescheduled. And we'll also schedule the pretrial conference in case number 24-20. And hopefully you can write this down before you leave, or make sure that you get this information. Your pretrial conference in each of these cases will be August 15th. That would be at 9:30 a.m. And recalling the bench warrant and taking no action doesn't mean that the court is overlooking your failure to appear in each of these cases. If any of your contact condition of your bond.
Okay.
I'm going to place you on a $2,500 personal recognizance bond with the conditions that you may not operate a motor vehicle without a valid Michigan driver's license, registration, and insurance. You'll have no threatening, intimidating, harassing, or violent behavior towards any person. You may not use nor possess any alcohol, any illegal substance, or any controlled substance, including marijuana, any mind or mood altering substances, or any non-prescribed medication. And you will submit to discretionary testing whenever requested by a police officer or any court personnel, so you cannot refuse. You may not operate a motor vehicle with the presence of any alcohol, any illegal substance, or any controlled substance, even that which
I don't know if the charges were his or someone used his identity, because the info didn't match. Miss Mistley was pointing out all the discrepancies. Sorry, guys. I was really hoping that it wouldn't cut that case up, near the end like that, but I knew it was a possibility, but we still got the most of it. And we got the basic idea of it. There wasn't really any conclusion to it beyond that. I guess whether the charges are his or not will all be filtered out in the trial. He was working for cash under the table, so even though it was his job, it's not on the books as a legal job. So I doubt, if they're willing to illegally hire him and illegally pay him and dodge the tax man in doing so, I don't think that they're going to have any problem with having him, still work there. It would actually behoove him to get a legitimate job that's on the books, because he's probably getting taken advantage of working for cash under the table. That's typically how it goes. And then he's not eligible for benefits. And, when you work for, the man, as much as people hate it, there are a lot of benefits to it.
Case number 241103SM, 240851FY, 240145 SM, People of the State of Michigan versus Lisa Marie Connor, also known as Lisa Marie Bolden, also known as Rachel McSpaden. Appearance to the record.
Michael Dean P 32631. Thank you, Your Honor. I've had the opportunity to talk with Ms. Connor earlier this morning, appraiser of the charges, the bench warrants, appraiser of her rights during arraignment, as well as the ramification of the charges she's facing. Being fully informed, she waives formal reading, stands mute, asks that you enter a not guilty plea, and she would like any and all bench warrants to be recalled.
Is not guilty. On behalf of Ms. Connor, we'll recall any bench warrants. Let me start with her. All these matters will be before Judge Walker. Well, actually, her misdemeanor matters will be before Judge Walker. Her felony matters will be before Judge Gross. Judge Gross will see her on her felony matter for a probable cause conference on August 6th. That'll be at 1:30 p.m. on Zoom, and exam August 13th at 9 a.m. And that'll take place in person at the 50th District Court. And Judge Walker will see her on her misdemeanor matter August 8th, and that'll be at 9 a.m. on Zoom. As to bond pretrial services, bear recommendation.
Yes, thank you. The defendant was interviewed. Her information was attempted to be verified with her father, Ron Connor. She's a 45-year-old divorced female with a 13-year-old child. Has been homeless for a year. Reported having a college education, being unemployed, though she didn't indicate the length of time. To disclose a history of mental health concerns. She is in violation of probation out of 6th Circuit Court. Does have a history of failing to appear. Has warrants out of 41B, 50th, and 52-3 District Court, as well as pending matters out of 48th District Court. Many of those are similar felony matters, the retail fraud first, as in for this court. And does have a history of substance use. She was convicted of 2 felonies in the preceding 5 years to the all three of these matters. Therefore, Michigan Statute 7656A does apply. She's not eligible for a personal recognizance bond. Would recommend conditions of no alcohol or controlled substances. With regard to the felony, no return to the Home Depot. Provide a valid release address prior to release. With regard to the retail fraud second, no return to the Dollar General. With regard to the traffic matter, no driving without a valid license, registration, proof of insurance. Thank you.
I don't know what that is.
All right, Mr. Dean.
As indicated in the report, Your Honor, my client is homeless, and based on her past criminal history, she is not allowed for a personal bond, so we're asking for a nominal bond of $1,000, 10%. Thank you.
All right, so on a felony matter, we'll set bond at 10,000, 10%. With no drugs or alcohol, she can provide a release dress prior to leaving the Oakland County Jail, and she cannot return to any Home Depot anywhere. That's her bond on a case before Judge Gross. On her cases before Judge Walker, we'll set bond in this matter at 510%. This is in case 145 SM, $500, 10%. No drugs. Provide a valid release address prior to OCJ release. She is not to drive without a valid license, registration, and insurance. So Judge Walker will see her on 145, as I said, on 8/8/2024 at 9 a.m. on Zoom. And then on her last matter, 103 SM. Set bond at 5,000, 10%. No alcohol or drugs. Not to return to any Dollar General location. Then once again, she needs to provide a release address prior to release from jail. So we're all set. The staff can walk through the door.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
William Allen King.
All right, we're ready on you, Mr. King.
All right,
Okay.
Mr. William King?
Yes.
Okay. Michael.
240-116 FY. People of the state of Michigan versus William Allen King IV. Appearance to the record.
Michael Dean, plea 32631, attorney for arraignments today. We waive formal reading. I had the opportunity to talk with Mr. King, apprise him of the charges, apprise him of his rights. Being fully informed, he waives formal reading, stands mute, asks that you enter a not guilty plea, and he would like the assistance of a court-appointed attorney moving forward.
All right, Mr. King, for the record, I know you just stated it. State your name for the record.
William Allen King IV.
All right, so this case will be before me for a probable cause conference on August 6th, 1:30 p.m. on Zoom. Exam will be August 13th, and that'll be at 2 p.m. in person to 50th District Court. As to bond, this is a child support case, so the bond has to be 25% of what's in the rear, so approximately $5,000. And it has to be posted in his name, so.
Question. Is it possible I can work out something more reasonable? Because my mom right now is at home, 76 years old. Like,
Mr. King.
I understand. This is difficult.
Yeah.
Losing my job right now. My mom is at home sick, so I'm just asking mercy of the court. If it's something more reasonable than that, I would gladly do that. But 5,000, that's what you want, Your Honor. That's I'm understanding.
That's the statute.
Remember,
Yeah,
I
that's
told
not
you,
me.
Mr. King?
That's the statute. Go ahead, Mr. Dean.
No, I explained it to Mr. King that it's a statute. With all due respect, Your Honor, that you are limited in what you can do because there's a statute that says 25%. I explained it to him this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm limited in what I can do, Mr. King. I do apologize, but yeah, it has to be $5,018.50 cash to be posted in the name of the defendant being your name. That's the statute, sir. So
Okay.
on child support cases. So that'll be the bond. You're all set. So I'll see you August 6th. Maybe your attorney can work out something with the with the AG's office. But yeah, until the AG signs off on it, I can't do anything.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you're all set.
Thank you.
But Judge, his sick mama at home. You gotta just let him out. Oh, that guy made me mad.
Hello.
Name, sir?
Dimitri
Hello,
Hughes.
what's your name?
Dimitri Hughes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Dean, P 32631, Court Appointed Attorney for Arraignments, 50th District Court. We agree to conduct this proceeding today by Zoom. Mr. Hughes, state your full name.
Dimitri James Hughes.
Thank you. I've had the opportunity to talk with Mr. Hughes, Your Honor, this morning, apprise him of the charges.
You didn't talk to me this morning. I didn't talk to you this.
Okay, I'm mistaken. Let me talk to Mr. Hughes real quick.
Okay, yeah, because I marked off everybody. You just
No,
went on the
no,
record.
you are
I'm like,
correct, sir. You are correct, Your Honor. I'm mistaken.
okay. That's why I asked, like, who have you talked with? And I mark it off, so I'll know. Mr. Hughes wasn't even marked off because Mr. Hughes wasn't talked to.
Right.
This pretrial report has a different charge and a different case number. As police officer R&O, and this is a DV second case, and that has the wrong case number, but I changed it on there.
So are you looking at the 1110 SM?
Yes.
So then I wonder where the other case came from.
Yeah, I don't have a fleeing and eluding one with me. Oh, maybe I'm mistaken. Oh, sorry.
Is there two cases?
Oh, it was flipped around. Someone put the other one in the other one. You're correct.
Okay.
This is because I was looking, I'm like, felony, this is a misdemeanor. The pretrial service report for the felony was in a misdemeanor and then vice versa.
Gotcha.
Can you give me another one on the fleeing and eluding case?
You don't have a report for the misdemeanor?
The felony.
Oh, you don't have a report for the felony? Or you just
Yeah,
want a new one? I gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll print a new one.
Thank you so much. And this is supposed to be an FT case because of a felony traffic, correct?
Yeah, my case number says FT.
Yeah, they got FY on file. I'll make sure
Is it felony traffic? I mean, I guess it depends how he assaulted police allegedly. Because flee and elude third.
Right, I'm looking at the lead charge, fleeing and eluding third. I'll call it as they got it written on this file and probably in the system, but it should probably be FT. All right. 24118 FY, 24110 SM. Both of these are people of the state of Michigan versus Dimitri James Hughes. Appearance for the record.
Michael Dean, P 32631, Your Honor. I've had the opportunity to talk with Mr. Hughes about both charges, being fully informed of the arraignment procedure and the consequences of those charges. He waives formal reading, stands mute, asks that you enter a not guilty plea, and he would like the assistance of a court-appointed attorney moving forward.
All right, the court will enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Hughes in both matters. Mr. Hughes, please state your name for the record.
Dimitri James Hughes.
All right, in Judge Gross's matter, she has the felony matter. You will see her for a probable cause conference on August 6, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. on Zoom. And then your exam will be August 13th at 9 a.m. in person at the 50th District Court. So, and then your misdemeanor matter, you'll be before me, Judge Bowie. I will see you August 22nd. Okay? And that'll be at 9 a.m. on Zoom for your misdemeanor case. State misdemeanor case. Now, ask the bond pretrial services by recommendation, please.
Thank you. The defendant was interviewed. His information was verified by his girlfriend, Jara Webb. He's a single 30-year-old father of 3, born in Ypsilanti, listed the Amos Street address for 2 years, 11th grade education. He does not have a history of failing to appear. He does have a history of violence. He lived at the Amos Street address for 2 years, stated that If he's not allowed to return there, he could stay with his mother, Lisa Hughes. The address in Clemmis is listed as in Ypsilanti. Defendant indicated working at Five Guys. However, Ms. Webb stated that he's been unemployed. Given that information, the fact that he's before the court on a violent felony matter, release on recognizance is not being recommended. We recommend conditions of no firearms or the dangerous weapons, no assault or threatening behavior, no driving without a valid license, registration, proof of insurance. With regard to the misdemeanor, no contact with Jera Webb, no return to her address at 1135 Amos Street in Pontiac, and verify a valid release address within 24 hours of release. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is, like, as indicated, single father of 3, working full-time. He indicates at Five Guys. That being said, we're asked, he has been in the past and always appeared, he indicates, to his court dates. We're asking for, if possible, a personal bond, if not, a nominal cash bond. Thank you.
So in his felony matter, Judge Gross, 15,000, 10% cash surety. No firearms, ammunition, or dangerous weapons in his possession, not to be around individuals, those items, or areas where those items are present. He is not to drive without a valid license, registration, and insurance. And he needs to provide a release address within 24 hours of release from Oakland County Jail.
Okay, so what is 10%?
That's the bond on Judge Gross's case. On my matter, his bond will be set at 7,500, 10% cash surety. Pretrial services supervision, no firearms, ammunition, or other dangerous weapons, not to be around individuals, those items, or areas where those items are present. No contact with Jera Webb. He needs to provide a release address within 24 hours of OCJ release. And then he is not to return to in the city of Pontiac.
Just to clarify, Your Honor, did you order supervision on the felony?
I did not.
Okay.
Which one is the felony?
Fleeing and eluding.
Okay,
So
so you're
how
all
much
set, sir?
How much am I gonna have to pay to do post bond?
About just a little bit.
200, yeah, $2,250.
2,000?
Yeah, so you're all set, sir. You have to get up and stand up. There's no argument. $2,250. You're good.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
I need to pay $2,500.
You talk to Mr. Maps. Let me.
Yep, Jones Map, sir.
Yeah, this is 19OS19490A. People of the state of Michigan, Roger Carl, Lee Jones Maps. Appearance of the record.
Michael Dean, P32631, attorney for arraignments today from the 50th District Court. I had the ability to talk with Mr. Jones Maps earlier this morning, apprise him of the bench warrant that was issued for a failure to take care of a handicap parking ticket from 2019. We're asking that you recall the bench warrant, and we're asking that this matter, I believe, should be a misdemeanor if we could handle it today, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Maps.
Yes, sir.
State your name for the record. State your
My
name for the
name,
record.
my full name, sir, Carl Lee Jones Maps III.
Okay, so we'll recall the bench warrant. We'll sentence him to, this is a civil infraction. So we'll sentence him to 2 days Oakland County Jail, credit for 2 days served.
Okay, sir. No, I don't recall it. It was so long ago. It was like.
We'll waive the fines and costs and close this case out, so.
Thank you.
So, see, also.
Thank you. Have a good day. Mr.
You're all
Maps.
set, Madam Jones. You can walk through the door. You're all set, sir.
Okay.
Did you talk to the judge? You did, okay. This is Vicky.
Judge needs a holiday.
Who are you? No. Cable?
Sometimes you catch some interesting stuff being said behind the jail doors.
Cable D. You're on 50th.
State your name, sir.
Daniel Wayne Cabo.
You know that?
All right, put you in the breakout room.
I'm wondering if when that other case screwed up the editing, I'm wondering if some of that didn't carry over a little bit. Because I swear I cut this part out. We need to watch the judge do paperwork for a minute. Oh, here we go. Sorry, guys.
Oh.
Two, 140. People of the state of FY, people of the state of Michigan versus Darnell LaWayne Cabo, appearance of the record.
Michael Dean, P32631, on behalf of Mr. Cabell for arraignment today for 50th. I've had the opportunity to talk with Mr. Cabell, apprise him of the charge, apprise him of his arraignment rights, apprise him of the consequences of the charge, being fully informed. He waives formal reading, stands mute, asks that you enter a not guilty plea, and he would like the assistance of a court-appointed attorney moving forward. Thank you.
Court will enter a plea and not guilty on behalf of Mr. Cabell. Sir, state your name for the record.
Darnell Wayne Cabo.
This will be before Judge Walker, August 6th, 1:30 p.m. on Zoom for a probable cause conference. August 13th, 9 a.m. in person for a preliminary examination. That's the bond pretrial services bail recommendation, please.
Thank you. Defendant was interviewed. His information was partially verified by his sister, Delisha Cabell. He's a 40-year-old single male with no children, indicated living with his mother, who's co-defendant at 38 Pengree. He's got a 11th grade education, has been unemployed for the past 7 months. He does have a history of substance use, a history of failing to appear, and has active warrant out of 36 District Court. He's before the court on felony matters. Given that information, release on recognizance is not being recommended. Would recommend conditions of pretrial supervision, no alcohol or controlled substances, participate in testing, no contact with his co-defendant, Sabrina Cabell, who's his mother, and given the fact that they live together, provide the court with a valid release address within 24 hours of release. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Dean.
My client indicates, Your Honor, that he's able to find, procure another place of to reside. He will inform the court within 24 hours. He understands the no contact order, and we're asking for a personal bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
We'll set bond as matter at 7,500, 10% cash surety, pretrial services supervision, no alcohol or drugs, randomly testing, no contact with Sabrina Cabell, the co-defendant in this matter, and need to provide a release address prior to leaving the Oakland County Jail. So you're all set, Mr. Cabell. Judge Walker will see you on August 6th at 1:30 p.m. on Zoom, okay?
Yeah, I can't ask no questions.
Not about this case, the facts of this case, and the bond is $750 to get out. So
I wasn't talking about the case. I just wanted to know. He said I had a warrant out for my arrest. I was making sure. I didn't understand what he was saying. After the 36th district, I don't have no warrant out to 36th district.
You should take it up with them.
Yeah, investigate. Yeah, we see it in our system, so you might want to call 36th district or reach out to them. I have somebody reach out for you. You're all set.
You're all set, sir.
Mr. Gavin, we're not about to sit here and argue. We told you, call 36th district court.
I don't even know what court. I don't know what court that is.
All right, well, go ahead. You can walk through the door.
Oh, he would sit there and argue. There were so many face palms. Yeah, the 36D. We all know the 36D. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun, you guys. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for helping me set up my new mic. That was a wild little experience there in the beginning. I couldn't figure out why I had like no sound coming from the video, but you guys could hear it. And then I saw the comment about I think Rocky Lennon had said that or somebody said that their kids have to use headphones with the mic, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. That's the whole point of having a mic. I love it though. I absolutely love it. It's so wonderful. Oh my gosh. I still don't know who sent it to me, but I am so grateful. I sent a picture of it to my my family's group chat thing that they have, and my brother showed it to his 10-year-old son, who is like a computer whiz, and he's 10 years old and he's already coding and doing all kinds of computer stuff and programming, and he was like, oh, that's the best one. Yes, it is. I agree. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. And then congratulations to Joey Bag of Donuts and Salty Buddha for being the winners of the Caption the Photo contest. And a new photo is coming Monday. So be prepared. They will be winning some awesome Night Shift with April merch. So can't wait for that. I know Salty Buddha he's in Amsterdam, and Joey Bag of Donuts, he's here in the US, so that's really great. You guys gotta remember to get your comments in. I guarantee the photo on Monday is so hilarious. It's so funny. I laughed so hard when I took it. I can't wait. I'm so happy you're here, Wixom. I really am. All right, guys. Thank you again for everything. I'm going to try tomorrow. I am going to try to be on, but I have some adult stuff that I have to do, some very unfun adult stuff. So I've been putting it off for far too long, and I've got to get it accomplished. It's going to cut into my editing time quite a bit. So, keep your fingers crossed. I will do everything I can. If nothing else, I might, worst case scenario, maybe do a members only stream, and we'll just court crawl and joke around and go on little field trips and do whatever we want to do. I can really only do that stuff when it's members only. Oh, I'm so happy. I didn't know I sounded like an airplane pilot before. But whatever it is, whatever. I know I love it. I love it. Thank you for everybody who's stuck with me until I got it. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Oh my gosh, they were so bad in the beginning. Oh, I had a lot of learning to do. I really did. But I haven't even been on here a year yet, you guys. I started going live October 12th, my birthday. So it's not even been a year. I love you too. Yeah, the ones like that you sound like a tunnel, or a robot. Those ones drive me crazy. But I knew this one wouldn't do that. This is the top performing streamer's mic. It's fantastic. I love it so much. Yeah, it took a lot of learning. I've still got a long way to go. Come on, let's be real. I've still got a long way to go. A lot of learning to do. Every day I'm learning. Thank you all for being here with me. I love you. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.